Hello, it's 6:47 p.m. right now. So this video, I wanted to talk about. I apologize for any outside noise. That ain't got nothing to do with me. Well, yeah, it does, because it's them noise harassing me. So, or noise campaign, or whatever. So, I'm starting to feel a little cold, because it's cold outside. But, excuse me. It's funny that, here in the South, any severe rain or snow or very cold weather is considered inclement weather, and businesses are closed. But up north, people live through heavy snow and it's considered, like normal. So, but I don't care. I still love the South. But I heard people going to the beach and having their fun in Miami. And they going to the beach and swimming and stuff in Miami. But we got snowed out. Well, we not snowed out here in Pensacola, but I heard that in Alabama, there was a little bit of snow and stuff like that. But New Orleans will have some frosty days, quite a bit, because it's like you go outside and even here in Pensacola, dealing with the moment where you just blow your breath into the air and it's like smoke because it's so cold and everything. Excuse me. So this video I want to talk about things I learned with this gang stalking. Things I learned with experience, excuse me, with being a targeted individual. So if I remember, I'm going to try to put it in the links in the description box from my other channel about how I think I became a targeted individual. I had to do that all over again because I did it on my first channel that got taken down. How I think how I think I became a targeted individual, and then my journey as a targeted individual. I did some videos about that too. I'm gonna try to remember to post the links in the description box. I'm so cold I can't handle it. Hold up. So it was 24 degrees this morning. It was 24 degrees this morning. That's the coldest it's been. So, I'm glad my phone didn't fall. So now, hold on, let me see. Come on. It's 38 degrees. And it's supposed to be 32 degrees by 4 o'clock tomorrow morning. And then, yeah, so tomorrow's supposed to be in the 50s, like 58 and then 56. And then Friday and Saturday is supposed to be like 35. I mean, Thursday and Friday. Thursday is supposed to rain and then be 35 degrees. Then Friday, 48 degrees during the day and then 30 at night. And then Saturday, 55 degrees and sunny during the day and then 42 at night. Sunday is supposed to be high 62 and low 54. And then Monday is supposed to be rainy and 65 and then low 41. And then Tuesday is supposed to be high 66 and low 55. And then Wednesday and Thursday is supposed to be in the high 60s and then low 50s at night. So, that's why I've been trying to ask for more help with trying to stay, safe, warm, and dry. And I have to be back on the streets. But I don't know. I mean, I try to ask around. There's no affordable housing here in Pensacola. And I don't know where else to go. But I mean, I can't even handle the cold that it is now. So, oh, they're poking me in my back, close to my right shoulder blade. They're poking me with the directed energy weapons, hurting my back, like poking me. Like now they stopped. So this video, I talked about. I mean, I'm gonna talk about the experiences and things that I've learned, from this gang stalking program as a targeted individual. So I'm gonna give y'all a little history. I didn't know the truth about the Illuminati or New World Order until 2010. Oh man, they're getting me bad. It's like they're remotely stabbing me in my back. So all right. Y'all know I was abused in foster care and put in a cult. And then y'all know what happened when I was 14, 15 years old. I already told y'all about that. I guess I had to come to conclusion that if you, even if you didn't know you were MK Ultra, whoever breaks away from or wakes up to the MK Ultra program, I think that all targeted individuals are failed MK Ultra subjects, then set up to be thrown from the freedom train and sacrificed. That's from what I'm getting. That's what it sounds like. Or victims of narcissistic abuse, where the scapegoat is the sacrifice. So now they're trying to hurt my chest, hurt my heart. So it's like, okay, so I've been forced to see a psychiatrist and take medicine all these years. In 2003, I mean, no, even during some parts of high school, I tried to not take the medicine sometimes, and I didn't know what it was. I mean, well, more like I tried to not take the medication because I wanted to go into the military. Well, now you did me a favor. I'm glad I didn't go. So, I mean, I said the foster mom, she abused us and put us in the cult. And also, so I guess I was resisting the psychiatric medication and resisting the cult as well. But the foster mom, her household was a cult. She ran her house like a cult where she was the leader and had control over even the men in the house, including whatever several husbands she had. Run through husbands like toilet paper. But then she self-righteously quick to call everybody else a hoe. Well, the Bible says that divorce and remarriage is adultery. So while the husband is still living, I believe that third husband, the foster dad Al, was a blood sacrifice. That's my strong belief. And so, that was a Masonic sacrifice. So, okay. In 2003, I tried to break away from taking psych medications, and they threatened to have me locked up in a mental institution. I didn't like the way that the medications were making me fatter, and they were making me sicker. And I just didn't like the way they made me feel. And plus, they had that. I mean, nobody wanted to be supportive of or helpful or supportive to me during dealing with my problems with the foster family members still abusing me with being 18 and 19 years old, and still physically abusing and beating on me. And when I turned 18, the abuse and the attacks got worse. So then, you know, after I got out of the mental hospital in 2007, I tried to not take the psychiatric medications anymore after Abilify kept trying to make me have urges to want to. It used to make my hand uncontrollably shake, like I guess Parkinson's or something. And I remember the foster aunt Mickey, she had a foster boy named Caleb, a black boy, and she said he had Parkinson's. The moment he got off those psychiatric medications, he was back normal, because his body was like swaying all kinds of ways. I was trying to figure out what the hell's wrong with him, And so Mickey said, well, I didn't say what the hell because I was still a little kid, but I was wondering what was wrong with him. So Mickey said, he has Parkinson's. So whatever side effect of the medication, the narcissistic abusers who force you against your will to see a psychiatrist and take medicine, they think you're supposed to be controlled and normal with the medication, but it make you have all these side effects, make you crazy, make you more disabled than what you were born to be. And, they make you more disabled and helpless and stuff. So I remember one time I was at the fake Kedra Mental Health in Los Angeles, and they had a guy who was totally bent over. It reminded me of a lady with such a condition in the Bible. I don't remember all the details, but it was a lady. Once she was healed by Jesus, and then she was able to stand back, up back to normal or whatever. But they had the guy who was totally bent over, and I saw, how the psychiatric medications destroy people. And so I remember Caleb, and then so he was back normal and restored after whatever medication that they had him on. And so certain medications used to have my legs shake uncontrollably, or what do you call that? Akathisia or something like that, with your legs shaking as side effects of the medication. Or so with the Abilify, my hand was shaking like this. And when I got out of the mental hospital, still taking the Abilify, and it used to give me urges to want to jump off balconies and drink bleach, even though I never done such a thing. But I heard the reason why the narcissistic perps and handlers with the MK Ultra programming, they want you medicated so badly so that they can get you sacrificed, and so that the directed energy weapons are more. I've heard a lot of people say that the directed energy weapons are more effective, and the mind control is more that they have over you, and the witchcraft that they have over you is more effective when you taking those medications, when you're an obedient slave to taking those medications. While they don't take the medication themselves. So then if I say that I don't need medication, then they call me the narcissist, or they'll call me a schizophrenic. And they'll say schizophrenics feel like they don't need to be on their medication. You're not a doctor, you don't have the authority or the right to diagnose me, and you don't even know me. So I'm just glad to be free from all that. So in 2006, in 2005 after Hurricane Katrina, I wasn't on those medications. After Hurricane Katrina, I didn't have a doctor, and so I wasn't taking the medicine. So then the foster mom found out in 2005, just like what the mental health nurse in 2003, 2006, the foster mom got mad and screamed at me and forcefully ordered me to get back on the medication and they were causing me trouble and being abusive, and I was faithfully taking the medication, and they went behind my back and falsely accused me of not taking the medication and saying, "Oh, she ain't been taking all her medicine." How you know? He's just ignorantly assumed. And it's like, whether I take the medication or not, you're still going to hate me. If I comply with the program or not, you're still going to be oppressive. If I sell my soul to the devil or not, you're still going to hate me and be oppressive. So I'm not doing any of that at all. If I join the cult, if I go back to the cult, which I never will, and I would never do any of the other above things, I'm not going back to the IDMR cult or joining any other cult. I'm not seeing a psychiatrist or taking medicine. And, I'm not selling my soul to the devil. I'm not going to try to commit suicide anymore. And, you're not going to try to get me, trying to lock me up to get arrested. Set me up to get locked up in jail or arrested or whatever. So, you're not going to try to get me to commit suicide. So, it's like, what else was I going to say? All right. So the foster mom did that to me. So then I went to New York and went through what I went through. And then, the biological mom, I would have died in that mental hospital. They were killing people in that Kings County Hospital in Brooklyn, New York. They were killing people in that hospital. And they said that you're there until you die. That was eerie and frightening. After that suicide attempt that I talked about in the previous video. But then they would laugh and be like, "Oh, you were trying to kill yourself anyway." No, I really didn't want to die, but it was just actually a cry for help and not attention, not pity or nothing like that. But it's amazing how with Crystal and Crystal in New York, when she kept repeatedly trying to stab me and nobody wanted to do anything about it, and they kept wanting to have me locked up in a mental institution. But when it comes to me, when I had my suicide attempt, they, imprisoned me into the psych ward. And they weren't going to let me leave until they said that they couldn't take me back on the streets. And they had that black lady who was a narcissistic perp named Miss Lee. I think she was a witch. Come to think about it now, because every time I saw her, I kind of psychologically and mentally foamed at the mouth. And was frightened, deathly afraid of this lady for some reason. Miss Lee at the mental hospital in New York. And I had the narcissistic perp Russian psychiatrist named Boris Fatakov. I remember his name, but I don't remember his face, but I remember his name. Now, I remember some of the staff up in there in the 2007 at Kings County Mental Hospital. And you would always, like, when they set you up, and then they say, Code Orange and G31, Code Orange and G31. Because we were in the psych ward number G31. And so every time they say Code Orange and G31, that will frighten me, make me afraid I'm going to die next, even if it's not for me. But that was the most traumatic mental health, that plus what happened in 2010 with that suicide attempt, the most traumatic mental hospital experiences that I've had. And I remember when it was in the first mental hospital I was at, I think, at St. Vincent's in 2006. I think that was the mental hospital. It was a white girl. She was throwing something. I think she was throwing stuff at me. And I don't remember what it was. I don't remember if it was food or something she was throwing at me. And so then I pushed and shoved her just one good time. And then they put me in a seclusion room. They locked me in a seclusion room and put a cocktail in my butt and 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 then, you know, they did nothing to her, and I didn't understand why. And it was other black staff and other races of people who did that to me. But there's a lot of gang stalking perps who pose as patients to try to provoke you. They work along with the staff to sex, and I didn't realize at that time, but they work along with the staff to perp you and sex you up to get to be forced to stay there longer. And you wonder how come they came after you but then leaving before you. Well, their assignment must have been done, and I didn't realize there were just a whole bunch of devils up in there. You know, while everybody in the mental hospital is against me, and you know, the new narcissistic perp who comes up in there, who delusionally believe that they're class clown funny and stuff. So, but anyway, they kill people. There was a man who got murdered shortly after I left, and there was this one lady. She was a black lady, and she didn't talk, and they said that she was gonna end up in that mental hospital. They said she was gonna stay there till she died. I'm like, that's cold. And that she didn't have any family. But the biological gay brother Mark and the biological mom Frances, I'm surprised and glad that they rescued me, you know, out of that mental hospital. But the thing is, the catch was the the biological gay brother Mark trying to use me out of money, and trying to get money any way he can out of me, and scamming and abusing me and stuff, and treating me like a slave. And then when I stood up to him and broke free from him, he got really mad when I got my own place. But it was the wrong thing to do. I mean, it didn't even cross. I thought I had to stay there in Denton, Texas, but if I was a grown woman, I wouldn't have. I mean, I didn't know. I mean, because I decided, after the Abilify was in 2007, the Abilify was making me feel those things that I mentioned, about wanting to jump off the balconies and drink bleach. Now they're poking me in a different area on my back, further up on my back. They're poking me. Excuse me. So then Mark threatened to get me locked up, back up in a mental institution, and got mad and screamed at me and forcefully ordered me to see a psychiatrist and take medicine. And I was depressed and depressed and depressed. And in 2007, I was also depressed about the student loans and everything. So I was like, wait a minute, pills don't solve my problems. And so, a pill would not, me being in debt and being used and taken advantage of and abused by family, a pill would not make that go away. So it's like, if you've done a whole bunch of reprobate and abusive things to people, but you act like you think you have high authority, and then somebody look at you and say that your eyes look like you've been completely given over to the devil, or like there's no light in your eyes, that your eyes look like a walking corpse, or that your eyes look dead, but then you think you have this much control over me, and you think that you have the authority to punish me and get me sick. No, you're not going to get me sick. You do not have authority over me. You're not going to treat me anymore like a punished child. So, I don't care if y'all say I'm talking crazy. And so, yeah, anybody who I've been feeling bitter towards and upset about for years, and who've been narcissistic control freaks, who's treated like a Lanika from the Stinking Crab family, I didn't realize they were all narcissistic, control freak, gang stalking perps. You know, and a targeted person had told me that Lanika's eyes look um that her eyes look like a walking corpse casket ready. That her eyes look vacant and totally dead. And they even said that I wish I had that gift to be able, or that ability to be able to look at people's eyes and see. I don't have that ability to get to see a person's eyes and see that their eyes look dead or anything like that. So that's why I have to ask people for confirmation. And so anybody who trying to, so it's like I go through by seeing how a pattern of how they act now. Now that I'm more awakened now, me seeing a pattern of how people act with their, them being voracious with trying to control you and coveting so much power that they do not rightfully deserve. They do not rightfully deserve power and control over you. They don't. So, it's been confirmed that a lot of my family members, their eyes look, you know, like they've been given over, or their eyes look dead, or their eyes look dark. And those are the ones who get the stank horror Lanika style special treats in life, criminally, illegally, and undeservingly. And so they're quick to call you crazy, quick to try to, they so badly want to force you to be a mental patient, block you from anything good in life. So this is the fucking game because y'all want, that's the big message here. It's all about your soul. They want your soul. The big lesson I learned with this gang stalking program here is they want your soul. So if they can't get your soul, the devil can't get your soul. If the devil can't get your soul, or he figured if the devil feels threatened by you, or if a narcissistic abuser feels threatened by you, then all of a sudden you have to be forced against your will to live your life as a mental patient. And then you'll lose your soul, Because, see, the foster mom and the foster sister Shelley used to, like the foster mom used to, now, if they say she has dead eyes, and she'd be like, walking around looking like you in a daze. And her daughter, the foster sister, Hellface Shelley, used to be like, y'all act like y'all got a fat on y'all brain. Saying, y'all act like y'all got a fat on y'all brain. Because New Orleans people, they don't say fart. They say fat, for passing gas. When I was a little kid, they used to have, a whole bunch of different terminology, for flatulence. They used to say fart, fat, pass gas, break wind, cut the cheese, all the, all that, So, we act like we got a fat on our brain. We act like we're in a daze. We act like we're dazed and confused because of daydreaming, because of the doggone traumas that y'all put us through. The trauma and abuse. And then don't want to take any responsibility. But then, if I throw a notebook at someone as a result of the side effect of the medication, you hold that against me and think I should suffer consequences for my behavior. And I shouldn't be let off. But then at the same time, you don't want to put me on this psychiatric medication. But when there's no consequence for your rage and abuse towards me, your narcissistic rage, not psychiatric medication-induced rage, but your narcissistic rage, and there's no consequence for what you do. And you just want to try to sound goody two-shoes and self-righteous and stuff like you have a license to be full of rage and stuff like that. Like only you can rage and have a license to have bad behavior. So this is more like a timeline, So 2007, I think it was when I realized psychiatric pills do not solve my problem. And then 2009, I actively was trying to break away from psychiatry, but didn't couldn't put my finger on it. But I just didn't like none of them motherfuckers. Didn't like none of them. All the mental health people. I try to just keep them away from me. But then because the neighbors were doing a noise campaign, I didn't know it at the time that was what it was called. And then dealing with the police and everything, that's another long story. Put me back in a mental hospital. I think I was in a mental hospital. I definitely was in a mental hospital at least 2 or 3 times in 2007. And I think once in 2009. And then twice in 2010. And then once in 2011. And that was the last time I was ever in a mental hospital. So I think it was 2009 when I first heard of the term Illuminati and conspiracy theories, but then it just went over my head. And then 2010, I heard a lot about people talking about Aaliyah and Michael Jackson, being blood sacrifices and, being quote unquote a part of the Illuminati. And that was my first wake up call. And then later on, I found out the truth about the fake IDMR cult in 2010. It was after that suicide attempt I found out IDMR was a cult. And 2010 in the mental hospital was, I guess, my first attempt to trying to get close to Jesus. And that was before I even found out my confirmation about IDMR being a cult. And I didn't realize I was reading the wrong Bible. That when I started to read the NIV Bible, I started to read the NIV, and I got mad and then put the I got mad and put the Bible down because I didn't agree with what was being said in the NIV Bible. So I never read the NIV Bible. It's Satan's versions, Satan's perversion, twisted. The truth being twisted to a lie. So never ever read the NIV, the Contemporary English Version, the RSV, or any of these versions. King James is the best. So, then in 2011, I started to do more in-depth research. And I thought the Illuminati was just simply celebrities selling their soul to the devil and becoming rich and famous and doing music and movies and stuff. And I'm like, wait a minute. There's more to it? So basically, Illuminati is a cult that seeks to control the world, the world domination. So I even found out in 2011, I found out about FEMA camps, martial law. I mean, in 2010, I was having nightmares and couldn't sleep. When I heard stories about Lady Gaga and Rihanna and her Beyonce and all them being devil worshippers. And so, that's what I thought. So then I realized that all cults are a part of it. All cults are created by the British intelligence MI5, according to John Coleman's Conspirators Hierarchy of the Committee of 300. So that's what I remember reading. And then I found out school system, foster care system, churches, um, places of business. I mean, my eyes were really woken up in 2011. But I think I never heard of targeted individuals or gang stalking until like 2012. And they had that Are You Targeted website. I think it's taken down. But I kind of find out I had to find out who's that walking or standing by my door. And so I kind of find out that Are You Targeted is a disinformation website about targeted individuals. But I heard about targeted individuals, but didn't realize I was already one of them. But on my Twitter, I've seen people talking about them, talking to individuals and gang stalking on my page, on my Twitter. But all those people huddled together and treated me mean and ignored me. And then they would claim to be targeted individuals and claim to be truthers, but a whole bunch of them motherfuckers, a whole bunch of nothing but New Agers. None of them were Christians. They were all New Agers. And so, yeah, so those, I didn't realize they were a whole bunch of narcissistic, fake TI perps who were New Agers. And I still didn't know the truth because I became a Christian in 2012. When I finally had on my heart to want to serve Jesus, on, you know, I got raped the next day by a Freemason. So then, in 2013, after the biological mom Frances died, I was doing a lot of research and stuff, and narcissistic abusers, whether they claim to be woke to the truth or not, they act like they're threatened by my research and try to force me to stop researching and think that I'm a bad person and that researching Illuminati is all I do. Well, there's hardly any Illuminati research on YouTube anymore. You used to have, I miss those good ass documentaries back then. So it was after the biological mom Frances died in 2013. Then a few months later was when I found out that the King James version was the truth. But a lady told me in 2011 at the Union Rescue Mission, Separation Torture Mission, that the King James version of the Bible is the closest to the truth. And I was a hardcore atheist at that time. Like, no, because then I heard some people trying to say that the Bible was part of the conspiracy, and that the New World Order elite used the Bible as their playbook and stuff. So that deterred me from the Bible from some time as well. But then and then they would try to say that Christians are dumb sheeple and stuff like that. So all that stuff I've been hearing. But I had to find out that King James version of the Bible, you got to read the whole thing, and it's the truth. And the King James version of the Bible to read, and then so King James version of the Bible. Excuse me. And so 2013, I like December 2013 was when I started to. I've actually read the King James version of the Bible cover to cover at least 5 or 6 times, and probably more than that. But it's like I have to keep going back and rereading it, because there was also a point in time I tried to get so close to God and trying to practice scripture memory and trying to be obedient and holy. And then after dealing with Lisa Ruby, towards the end of 2014, I found her website, and I held off on calling her for a long time, and my justification was I was afraid that she was going to be hard and mean. But then eventually I called her. Me and her talked for the first time. We spent 3 hours on the phone. And then I had to deal with spiritual abuse from her. Then I had to deal with the vibrating torture. But in 2013, after my twin sister brainwashed the neighbors against me in Los Angeles, in 2000, right after the biological mom Frances passed away, they started, vandalizing my place and, you know, going in and out of my gate, taking the doorknob off the gate, throwing their trash into my trash, been on purpose to have me waste more, like me having to be charged more for garbage. They would put dead birds on my doorstep and stuff like that. When I would go to the library and then come back with my door wide open, or I would have like sleep paralysis and stuff. I would go to sleep and then wake up with cabinets open that I know I didn't open and stuff like that. I had to deal with bleach in my doggone, like strong bleach in my doggone tap water. And it's just so much stuff, And so, I just had a lot going on, but I didn't know I was being gang stalked at the time. But I read about the symptoms of the gang stalking and electronic harassment. I'm like, let me back off from this because I'm like, what if this might happen? Let me back up before it starts to happen to me. But then I realized that I've been gang stalked for many years and didn't even know about it and wasn't aware. Even 2005, before Hurricane Katrina, family members doing stuff on purpose just to make you mad and try to drive you into the mental institution. And then when you get mad and stand up to them, they make jail threats or threats to get you locked up in a mental institution. Everybody want to be coercive and pushy about that you're crazy and need your medication. Yeah, I've been gang stalked long time ago. So they're bitter and angry towards me because I was able to break the spell and wake up and find the truth. And now they feel threatened. And now they're trying whatever they can to silence me. I broke away from the IDMR cult, psychiatry, and all that. And I promise I will never go back. I will never comply or agree with psychiatry or IDMR cult anymore. At all, ever. For as long as I live. Never willfully and obediently take a pill. But why in a psychiatric psychiatric institution? How can you commit suicide? I don't know. Tell me, how can you commit suicide in a mental institution with no weapons? But you hear a lot of stories about people, quote unquote, committing suicide in a mental institution when they take just about everything away from you except clothes on your back. You're not allowed to have your MP3 player, your phone. You're not allowed to have anything with a cord. You're not allowed to have anything sharp. You're not allowed to have any of that. So how the fuck are people, like patients, committing suicide in a mental institution? Tell me how can but the staff abuse and murder patients and then cover it up and lie and say it was a suicide. Either that or they might give you something to kill yourself with. If everything is controlled, even to every morsel of food that you eat is controlled in that mental hospital. So tell me, how can a person commit suicide in a mental institution? So it's traumatic because I've had more than one instance where the staff tried to kill me in a mental institution. And they had people who've done way worse things in the mental institution that I've done. Or stuff that you would be like mind controlled into doing. Or influenced or whatever into doing. And, I heard that they had a gay guy who was they said that he got sent to the mental institution for being high off of weed or something like that. And so some people want to say that weed is not addictive. Well, I heard he was having withdrawals or something like that, and then he went crazy or acted a certain way. Then they put him in a seclusion room and tortured him. And they said that he tried to elope. They said he tried to elope. I think they said he did elope, and then they found him, and then they put him back in. But then I don't know where else he went, because I didn't see him that much afterwards. If he went to the state mental hospital or jail, but they threatened to put me in a state mental hospital, which is the prison psych ward, more than once in my life. Bellevue in New York or Wichita Falls in Denton, Texas. I mean, somewhere in Texas. Oh, fuck. Ooh. They're hitting me right here again. Right here. They're trying to give me the shocking kind of pain. So I'm all right though. But anyway, it's like, so yeah, that guy, I don't know what happened to him, because he definitely came after me and then left before me. So I don't know if they put him in prison or if they took him to the state psychiatric hospital or the prison psych ward or where they put him. But he wasn't there at the mental hospital in Denton, Texas. He wasn't there for that long. I don't remember his name, but I remember his face vividly. And so I remember they had this one girl. She seemed American, but she had acted American, but she looked kind of Hispanic. Could have been biracial, mixed, half Hispanic, half white. And she straight passed out because they said that she was detoxing and having withdrawals from she was in rehab for drugs. And so a lot of people would end up in a mental hospital for drugs and stuff like that. And then they try to make like what goes on in the mental hospital stays in the mental hospital. Like, I don't remember signing any non-disclosure agreements or anything like that, but they said that you're not allowed to, well, I guess because of HIPAA laws or whatever. But you know what? I can talk about the damn abusive staff. They should have lost their jobs, but except they could stay, they're probably still working there. And then, the abusive, the man who owned University of Behavioral Health in Denton, Texas, that mental hospital, I had to do some deep digging and research that he was connected with the Illuminati, and he was psychiatry is connected with the Illuminati and mind control. If y'all don't know, the after World War II and after the Holocaust and everything, y'all know about Project Paperclip and Joseph Mengele and experimenting. Go research Project Paperclip or Operation Paperclip and how the Germans were smuggled into the U.S. for their Nazi mind control experiments. A lot of times experimenting MK Ultra on twins, and that's why you see celebrities who are not twins, but they have MK Ultra Monarch 20 programming. So, so that's stuff I had to research. Why do you feel threatened about somebody trying to learn the truth? So the psychiatry is freaking diabolical. It's not of God. It's not of God at all. And so the Legends Academy, which is directly next to UBH in Denton, Texas. It's an MK Ultra programming center. Mayhill Hospital in Denton, Texas is another MK Ultra programming. One of the staff told me that a lot of celebrities go to Mayhill. I'm like, why would a celebrity? I thought celebrity were perfect, and you know, why would a celebrity have problems? If they were happy, I thought they were happy being rich and famous. But I didn't realize it was nothing to do with demon possession and selling your soul to the devil and being Monarch MK Ultra. So I heard a lot of celebrities being a mental patient. There was a celebrity I saw a suggestion. I mean, a video. I didn't look at the video, but I saw the suggestion on YouTube. It was a female celebrity. Let me try to find the exact caption. Hold on. It was a recent video from Inside Edition. And, okay, where is it? Oh. Okay. So, Addison Rae says she sees therapists to not feel so down. So, yeah, so she must be a celebrity or something. Oh! So, excuse me. And so either jail or the mental institution, when a celebrity and their MK Ultra does not cooperate, they reprogram you in jail or the mental institution. And then you might come back a clone. They secretly kill you up in there. And so the celebrities, you wonder why they keep going in and out of jail or the mental institution. Like people like Lil Wayne and T.I. back then, there was a point in time they kept. And I'm like, well, you wonder why these celebrities kept doing was quote unquote stupid shit, but they were programmed in MK Ultra to mind control them doing that. So even DMX, the rapper DMX, and then Nicki Minaj, a lot of people had like concern and outrage because of Nicki Minaj brainwashing the youth with thinking that being a mental patient is cool. And they have that fake truther website, Vigilant Citizen, that used to speak the truth, but now they censor and they're disinfo agent. But you see some truth in the comments. But even the Vigilant Citizen website try to say that that they're just that guy said he's a mystic Christian, and then I heard that he's actually a MK Ultra handler himself and pretending to be somebody who just knows the truth about the Illuminati and New World Order. But he was thoughtful enough to freaking tell us that the King James version of the Bible was the truth, but then he mixes it by showing us these occultic and New Age books and trying to get you to read up on Freemasonry and trying to make you curious about becoming a Freemason and selling out. So Vigilant Citizen is one of the disinfo agent websites. And so so all these popular fake truthers, they got inside knowledge because they're one of them. I don't have any inside knowledge. I know certain things based on my experiences, personal experiences, and stuff I've read and researched and videos I've watched and stuff like that. But I don't have any inside knowledge about anything at all. And I'm not a know-it-all. I never professed to be a know-it-all. I'm still eager to want to learn more truth, which has been hidden from us, you know. So after dealing with Lisa Ruby, then, digging and doing more research and stuff, um, I kept trying to figure out why my body was vibrating so much. Started in 2015. And then I think the earliest I remember was July 2015, after she sent me a laptop that she bought for me, and I told her don't buy it for me, and I found it on my door. She would buy me all these things, and I try to tell her don't do it. I'm fine, I'm good. And so then, I didn't realize that. I mean, I thought she was a truth or Christian, and so was Miss Tracy. But I mean, I've talked about Miss Tracy and Miss Lisa battling for control over me, and almost nearly succeeded at turning me away from being a Christian. But I'm still a Christian, still a believer, trying to fight to get closer to God. And also like recently, some days I have my moments where I forget to read the Bible and pray. You gotta remember. And get so distracted with the gang stalking and so much of everything. But it's easier and I'm more focused when I have a place than when I'm on the streets. It's harder to get that private quality time with God when you're on the streets. You can't even pray in secret because the perps see you everywhere. Can't even piss and shit in peace because the perps see you everywhere. And the perps being voyeurist, and then they reverse it when you're trying to piss and shit in private and trying to hide from the perps. Then they reverse it on you online and say that you're an exhibitionist and stuff like that. Can't go to the Circle K or any of the bars to go use the bathroom. And then by the time I get to Circle K, I beat and peed on myself already with the forced urination or forced diarrhea. And the perps at the gas station will lie and say that that the toilet is broken or something like that. Or they just don't want me to use the bathroom, even if I'm a customer and buy something. But the bathroom is open to everybody else except me. And so that's why I don't really go to that Circle K anymore. And so whenever I kept digging in 2016, I kept digging and digging and researching about cults and the Illuminati and mind control and researching about why is my body vibrating. I started from my left foot, then both feet, then my whole body, and then feeling my organs vibrating, and then it ran me out of my house. And I was manipulated and forced to break my lease. And that's another story. But excuse me. Somebody donated $5, so thank you for the $5. But I wish I had money enough. I mean, I wish somebody can help me with donations to stay here longer. And I mean, I wish somebody could help me to stay here longer. But anyway, it's like, okay. So it's amazing how narcissistic perps who are devil worshippers in secret, but then act like they think they have elitist mentality and super Christian to the forefront, but then they're witches on assignment and devil worshippers behind closed doors and pretending to be Christian, and then they exploit and perp and try to destroy you. That's frightening. Now you can't even trust another so-called Christian. You can't even trust them. Can't trust no damn body. Can't trust your relatives. Can't trust a friend. You can't trust a church member. Can't trust your employer. Can't trust nobody. The ones who you think supposed to be trusted authority, cannot trust them. Can't trust the bully fag cops. Can't trust nobody. This light looks more orange and more dim than the other light. The other light was very light, but it was brighter and more white or yellowish, less orange. But that light went off just within an instant with no warning. It didn't even start to dim out or nothing. But I'm sorry, I kind of got a little sidetracked. But my body was vibrating a lot, and I was suffering sleep deprivation. And I think I was experiencing some spiritual attacks as well and didn't realize it. And so, and having disturbing nightmares. But every time I kept trying to dig and research, wondering, why is my body vibrating? And then I heard about boom car noise. And it's like, no, it's supposed to be quiet. And I still hear this, what some people call a Taos, T-A-O-S, Taos hum. This whatever hum. Because like a hum, and then feeling it vibrating. Like my left foot, the palm of my foot would be vibrating. And it's vibrating right now. So I got no peace. And just couldn't live. And wondering what the hell was going on here. So me wondering why is my body vibrating. Gang stalking and cults. Those themes kept coming up. After dealing with the boom car noise and boom house noise and people blasting loud music everywhere, people doing videos, people exposing boom car noise, they were victims of noise harassment and didn't even realize it. They were targeting individuals and didn't realize it. And so, noise pollution, weaponized noise is, people using noise as a weapon, for mind control purposes. And it's like a war tactic as well. Weaponized noise. And music is a weapon as well. It can be used as a weapon. So, that lady, Crazy Tracy, Tracy Broadhurst from the Jesus is Lord website. She said on her website about how on one of her 4 or 5 websites that an Asian guy, a Vietnamese guy, said that he liked this song, whatever song, that he said he liked the song, and he said they use this music in war. And then he said music make you kill. So, but he sounded like he was all up in his feelings and possessed or something like that. Saying they use this music in war. Music make you kill. So, you gotta watch what music you listen to and the backmasking and the reverse satanic subliminal messages. So, okay. So, whenever I would try to figure out why my body was vibrating, I was desperate for answers. And I just couldn't take it no more. And when I kept researching and vibrating, a lot of themes, gang stalking electronic harassment and targeted individuals kept coming up, and things just wasn't clicking. You know, things didn't click. And so 2016, so I did research and realized, even back then, oh, I'm a targeted individual. Like, these symptoms apply to what I'm going through. But I didn't realize there was a community of people you can talk to. I guess, dealt with it on my own the best way I knew how. and then, so that was summer 2016. I was by the biological brother Pete's house, fake Krusty Pete. And he was being very abusive. And so I tried endlessly to look for jobs and side hustles and gigs, just looking and looking and looking, and couldn't find anything that could be suitable for me. And I'm like, there has to be something. I was like, no job is a good fit for me. I'm like, there got to be something I can do. And so I saw that documentary about gang stalking, a small video about a gang stalker on a bike that kept passing by several times. And the person was sitting in their car exposing gang stalking, how the gang stalkers, how they act and stuff. And so then when I reached out to the Galatians 4 lady about what Lisa Ruby and Miss Tracy did to me, and she told me I behoove you to research narcissistic abuse. And so then I would research that, and been researching a lot about that for years, and I thought everybody was just a narcissist or a narcissistic abuser treating me mean, and me going through all this. And then 2019 helped me put narcissistic abuse and gang stalking all together. And I finally, like, a light bulb really went off. And then that helped me realize, because I've been treated mean a lot. And if everybody's being rude and mean to you everywhere for no reason and make you like you're the problem, then you're a victim of gang stalking when you're trying to figure out what you did wrong. And a friend can never stick around for a long time or anything like that. So 2019 was when I started making videos about the gang stalking. I ended up homeless, been permanently homeless since 2018. I'm still considered as homeless. I'm about to go back on the streets because I don't have a permanent address, a permanent place to live. Now that I know the truth, because I felt like I felt frustrated and felt like, I wasn't signing any more apartment leases. It was why I got frustrated from my traumatic experiences from what I went through and everything. And I don't like this way of living, of, bouncing back and forth between hotels and the streets or motels and the streets. And then if I were to do a work at home job on a computer that requires peace and quiet and no noise, if I do get hired and they set up the gang stalking, then I'll be forced to quit because of the unbearable noise harassment. I have hypersensitive ears. So it's like, so then I awakened to this, basically it took within the past couple of months of me being here. So this is the game. This is the game? I'm asking, this is the game that us targeted individuals or failed MK Ultra subjects who they couldn't program to be a total clone or robot. So then now we are considered an enemy of the state, and you know, we're considered, they try to turn us into a Manchurian candidate. They try to turn us into a Manchurian candidate. But a strong Christian is not going to be a murderer or a killer. And so, trying to turn you into a MK Ultra assassin, mainly the guys, and they try to turn females into prostitute and sex slave. MK Ultra sex kitten and prostitution, and the males, they do the sex kitten and prostitution, plus they use the males as mass shooting. But I never heard of a female mass shooter, at least not yet. All the mass shooters are usually a guy. And then a lot of the mass shooters, or whatever false flags, the targeted individuals who get V2K, the voices, it really is human perpetrators talking and projecting remotely. The V2K, that's, telling them to either go kill themselves or go kill other people. And then, Myron, May, Aaron, Alexis, the Colorado shooters, and all of them. If they can MK Ultra and program you to be a killer. And even psychiatry is a big component of part of the New World Order. Mind control, program that they want to try to manipulate all of us to hating and killing each other rather than the chief enemy. While Satan sit back and laugh, while he drags so many souls to hell with him. So basically, the game is, if you refuse to sell your soul to the devil, then you're looked at as crazy and nonsensical, and they want you dead. But the only way you allow a simple morsel of food, they want you to sell out. And it's getting worse and worse. It's funny how more and more people are waking up to the truth of these agendas. But at the same time, more and more people are selling out. How is that possible? And then you have idiots walking around, they scratch their head and be like, well, I used to think I was a targeted individual. I used to think I was gang stalked. But now I realize that's just conspiracy theory. Or like, no, motherfucker, you were one of the most woke. You were one of the most woke out of everybody, giving a lot of truth and information. What happened to you? You compromised, or somebody did you something. Somebody threatened you. Somebody mind controlled you. And now you mock and make fun of real truthers, the truther that you once were. That they will torture you into submission and selling out. If they can't torture you to either submit into selling out or go kill yourself and commit suicide. So that's the ultimate game here. To try to get you, if they can't get you to sell your soul to the devil, or if they feel threatened by you, narcissistic abusers will try to force mental health on you and try to make you think you're a mental patient and make you think that everything that you do or say makes no sense. Everything you do or say makes no sense. And you're crazy. And you're greedy for even a morsel of food or a sip of water. Everything you do or say, they got a problem with. So I had to realize, after all these years, wait a minute, I'm not crazy after all? Wait a minute, this was not my fault? Oh, wait a minute, I was under mind control? Wait a minute, these people, they're actually abusive? I didn't know the foster mom was considered abusive. All I knew is what she did hurt. But that woman, she herself had a lot of rage. Arguing and fussing with people, we get it from her. The foster mom, we get it from her. And I thought I was the only one going through this, and I thought that it was because I was retarded. because I was a foster child. I thought or because I was black, female, and disabled, going through this persecution and abuse, and them keeping you isolated with no support system. They want to make sure that, this is part of eugenics, the New World Order eugenics. They want to try to, brainwash you to believe that you're not attractive, that you're ugly, you're so worthless, you don't have any potential, there's no hope for anything for you in life. You know what? Take the fucking world and shove it up your... Yeah. You know what? I don't care to live on this earth for any much longer anyway. But I'm not going to go and take myself out. But it's like, if you want to kill me, go ahead. I don't like this world. I especially don't like it no more. 2021 sucks. Even 2017 sucked. I missed the doggone 90s. They had more people who loved and cared about each other during the 80s and 90s. They really did. I hate everything about 2021. I hate it. Nothing's original. Nobody is original. Nobody is original. Nothing is original. Everything is fake. Everybody is fake. I can't stand living in a fake world. And that's why I've been writing some stories based on the 90s and grandma's cooking. Because, some people be like, well, remember back in the 1960s when the sun used to really be yellow? And I'm like, wow. Because now they have a white fake sun nowadays. And they use chemtrails on purpose to try to block out the sun and cause overcast anytime they can. And then make us get sick. They didn't want me, I was 4 years old, they didn't want me asking stupid questions, which were actually intelligent questions. And in foster care, they use our so-called bad behavior to justify their abuse towards us. The abuse and beatings and keeping us locked in closets and everything. But we survived it. I just wish that my twin sister, the other half of me, will wake up to the truth. And everybody, the whole family, the whole world. But I guess it's not possible. Because, Satan has his agenda just like God has his agenda. But, Satan wants to be counterfeit God. So, that's the key that was unlocked. That they try to get you to commit suicide. And then once you, or they use street theater or manufacture this mental crisis for you. They manufacture this mental crisis for you to go through. And then after they manufacture it, the mental health crisis, that's when they want to pretend to fake like they rescue you and like they fake care about you. Or sometimes you be going about I've seen this with other targeted individuals too. Have no altercation with anybody at all. Going about their business. And then all of a sudden you hear this welfare concern of the police come knock on the targeted individual's door and say that they're concerned for your safety and well-being for no reason at all. And shit's Yuck 10K, Stars 15K tried that with me. with, she bragged and thought it was funny to get me, y'all don't, I've been telling y'all my history with this lady. And then she wants to rewrite history and reverse it and lie and say that I'm the one who's stalking Alex. She works with Alex. They both gaslight and perp together. She works with my twin sister. They gaslight and perp together. Vice Handler's channel is gone. Now they had this. So I guess that maybe that DJ guy is not the same person as the regular chief handler. I thought that DJ made that account because I had just got finished, getting into it with him through text message. But I don't trust associating with DJ ever. He's call himself a voodoo god. He's a Christ denier. He's an anti-Christian, and he's younger than me, acting like he think he got so much control over me and stuff. How the hell is he still running free? He seemed like the type of person who would be a pimp, who would control and abuse sex slaves and then kill them. I don't trust people like him at all, ever. I've been warning y'all about the fake hypocristian, fake TI perps who try to lure me into human trafficking or sacrifice. And then they spiritualize it and pretend to be Christian and use the Bible to manipulate you. And then trying to turn you away from trusting God. So, forgot what I was going to say. So that's the game here. If you refuse to sell out or conform, we don't even, like, how can the foster mom tell me conform to society if I have to conform to the norms of society, but at the same time she didn't conform and the kids laughed at us for being different because the foster mom forced us to be different. When the kids were bully, harass, and laugh at us, those ignorant project ghetto fake crusty kids at school will bully, harass, and laugh at us and call us old fashioned. The fake, a lot of narcissistic abusers, they're self-righteous to use their fake old fashioned, just to control and imprison you so that you couldn't do what the other kids do. And Chris Stokes from that Control B2K, he seemed pretty much the same way. Like, you want to keep us isolated with no friends and stuff like that, plus you're abusing us. What you think we're supposed to do? There's something else I was going to say, but I can't say it. I can't even bring up a hint of what I was about to say. I had to stop myself. But anyway, I don't even want to give any close to ideas what I'm about to say. But I can't say it. So how the foster mom train us to be different, keep us locked in the house, scrubbing walls and washing dishes all day. But then, if there's any event of people of our peers or our age, we're not allowed to participate in these whatever situations. We're not allowed to participate in them. She kept us isolated to ourselves and had any excuse to punish us. And if she had to be punished for her bad behavior, she had bad behavior and a raging temper her damn self. And we get it from her. So, this doggone lady, you have to conform to the norms. You have to learn how to conform to the norms of society. Well, everybody dressed casual at a dance, but we're forced to go with a ponytail and dress clothes and then get laughed at. Or all our hair cut off like boys. And then, be forced to be a boy and look like a boy in a dress. And then we get picked on and bullied by the other kids for being forced to go to school with short hair and looking, being forced against our will to look like a boy in a dress. So, Yeah, she brainwashed us to be different, but then telling us to conform. That we have to learn, and that I have to learn how to conform. And I'm like, what am I doing wrong? You never taught us anything. All you do is wait till we mess up and then yell. So her trying to bully, harass, and lecture me about how I didn't want to abide by the rules in her house or abide by her rules. I'm sick and tired of fucking following rules. Rules of people who care nothing about me and just want to take my personal freedom and rights away. Excuse me. But so if you're a nonconformist, if you just don't fit the mold for the New World Order, or you're a whistleblower, or you're real truth or not the popular fakes, you're a targeted individual. When it comes to the Luciferian New World Order, FEMA cancel martial law, we targeted individuals are on the red list to be straight up killed. If they know we're not going to take the mark of the beast, we're on the red list to be killed. Your children, for this Luciferian Rainbow New World Order, they're going to use your children as sex slaves for Satan, for the New World Order. The re-education, which is indoctrination and mind control. That's why they never teach us the truth in schools. It's they revisionist history, rewriting history, and just brainwashing and indoctrination, and brainwash and indoctrinate stuff you with useless information that you can't even, that's not even useful to you when you grow up. But then they lie and say that, oh, well, it's to help you have a more well-rounded education. No, it's to keep you from learning. I mean, I'm a product of somebody who's dumbed down. And I thought about doing a video. But I don't think I'm going to do it today because maybe another time. If not tomorrow, then I don't know. But doing a video talking about people being dumbed down in society. The things I've learned, my opinion and perspective of people being dumbed down in society. Society being dumbed down. But then you've been dumbed down from a child and then blamed for it. But we're not allowed to learn any skills. They don't teach us any skills, and we grow up to be ignorant. And that's why the Bible has a scripture says, ever learning, but never able to come to the knowledge of the truth. Because we should have had, because they want us to be dependent on and worshiping our oppressors for the New World Order. They have us wake up to the truth too late, when it's too late for something to be done about it. They have us dumbed down with the fluoride and everything. So they want us to be helpless and oppressed, and then run to our oppressors to only be crushed like an aluminum can, be called a useless eater, while they block us from trying to learn skills and be productive. If you're an adult and you don't have any skills, too bad. Nobody wants to teach or show you, even if you pay them money. They refuse to teach or show you any skills of certain jobs or certain fields. The idea of being brainwashed into believing that 4-year university and master's degrees and doctorate degrees, which are all Masonic, which I didn't know that at the time. Now all these college degrees are Masonic, but they act like as if you're better off than just taking a trade or a skill and getting an associate's degree. So, and throughout all these years being on low income, I mean, I have a bachelor's degree, but extended or continuing education I never had enough money to go to school for extended or continuing education and something like Spanish translation, like I wanted to pursue, or anything else, So this is the end of the video of this topic. I was just saying that the big game is, do not cave in. Do not sell your soul. Don't commit suicide. Stay strong. Keep fighting. Um, don't shut up. Keep speaking the truth. Pray without. I need to tell myself to, pray without ceasing. Read the Bible. Get closer to God. Depend on Him for everything. And it's hard and scary being by yourself. So keep on speaking out. Keep on exposing. Don't stay quiet. Don't stay quiet. Keep speaking out. So I'm going to see y'all later. All right. Love y'all. Thanks for listening to me. Bye.